Before I discuss Slickstream's reply, I'm going to talk about Slick's claims about Sonami, Sonadao, and Shad Amy being immoral or illegal due to age gaps. To start off, Sonic and Amy have no specific ages since Sega removed them off their page. However, I am not saying they're ageless or have no ages. They still have ages, they're just non-specific and can only be held to age groups such as Sonic, Amy, Silver, Blaze, etc. will all be considered teens. Tails and Creams will be considered children. You could argue that they used to have specific ages, but that doesn't disregard that they no longer do.
Then you're basically saying that headcanons are canon. The ages that was confirmed to them was exactly how old they are, and Sega only removed their date of births. If ages are not canon, then they had no reason to celebrate Earth Day, and they even celebrated another birthday dedicated to either Sonic or the franchise.
If they did, I don't think Sega would be endorsing or support ships that are considered immoral/illegal. I'm referring to specifically Sonami, where Sega has sold multiple amounts of merch of the two characters in an obvious romantically implied way.
But that's really it. They just support the ship. It's literally the most popular ship in the franchise, but even they themselves know how batshit insane you people are, and we are not gonna sit here and act like fucking merch is canon. It doesn't dictate the Sonic franchise or the lore in any fashion. And again, Sonic having feelings for Amy is literally character assassination, because he's never once confessed directly to Amy and be her boyfriend. He already knows Amy is obsessed with Sonic. If they wanted Sonami canon, they would make it a thing already, but Sonic doesn't give a rat's ass about romance. And romance is literally not allowed in the franchise anyways.
Also, for the 1,000th time at this fucking point, Shadow is not 50 years plus. This only counts if we refer to chronological age. But chronological age doesn't mean shit if it doesn't hold up to mental nor physical. Shadow is mentally and physically ageless, which is stated in a Sonic 06 development document. He is undying and unaging. Then you could argue, well, he lived 50 years, but he didn't live through these years. He had no conscience due to cryostasis, so no, he did not mentally live through those 50 years. This shit is like saying Aang from The Last Airbender is mentally 112 years old, when it's canonically shown he acts 12 and not 112. Also, if he was mentally 50 years old or lived through 50 years, I don't think Ian Flynn would be catering and making fan service for Sonadao and its fans.
Cryostasis is process of preserving living organisms or biological objects at very low temperatures, usually below freezing. It's a form of cryopreservation, which involves cooling to sub-zero temperatures to halt or slow down biological processes. The term also refers to the state of being in such a deep freeze, often used in the context of cryonics, where individuals are frozen at death in the hope of later revival. So, basically, your age is not stagnant, it's just delayed. Aang is completely irrelevant to this franchise, and he is still canonically 114 years old. Ironically enough, it doesn't matter if you haven't mentally developed in those years, because even at cold temperatures and ice they are still bound by time. Not experiencing those years means you're just not conscious. Of course, you're not going to learn anything when you're asleep. Shadow can age, but he's not going to look old because he was created in a lab. And Ian supporting Sonadao is wrong anyways, because Shadow and Sonic have the worst possible chemistry of friendship, and they are significantly separated in age, and Ian doesn't even dictate Sonic canon to begin with because he doesn't get to decide what ship is canon or not.
I never endorsed or openly stated that I accept Suntails. I hate that ship, and there is zero information or proof of me saying otherwise.
But the reasons people were hating on shippers and headcanons were as clear as day. People make Amy Rose and Metal Sonic a thing. That's a 12-year-old with a robot. They wholeheartedly believe that Sonic is
1. I don't like Metami. 2. You're generalizing. 3. Amy isn't 12, her age is non-specific teen.
1. You're okay with people shipping animals who are already young to begin with, even teens are still significantly young. 2. The fanbase has been making ships like this for years now, so it's not generalizing. The entire page of Sonic fan art tells me a third of the fanbase is mentally deranged. And 3. I already debunked ages not being canon and exposed how old these characters really are. You guessing that Amy is any older than 12 to 13 years old is your headcanon. Wholeheartedly believe that Sonic is either a girl or that he's trans, and
Nobody wholeheartedly believes that Sonic is a girl. I'm not sure why you continuously attain this belief that I have never seen be taken seriously. Sonic headcanon of him being T is not a genuine belief, it's more of someone wanting to see themselves in a character and project onto it.
Yeah, that's the problem. Sonic doesn't relate to those people. He's the embodiment of freedom, not whatever that is. He may hate oppression, but he 100% values the opinions. And they make the false information that Sega never pronounced him as male when they've been pronouncing him male since day one. Hating on ships and headcanons is completely justified.
You can hate what you want, but there's nothing justified about harassing someone over a morally okay ship or headcanon.
Yeah, that's the thing. There are only a handful of morally okay ships, and Sonomy and Shatomy are not one of them. The morally okay ships are Sonazi, Vectilla, and Knuckles X Rouge. And before you people say any bullshit, Blaze and Sonic are the closest to ages and with each other, as Sonic then used to be 15 right next to Blaze, who is 14, Knuckles is 16, and Rouge is 18. In a real-world standpoint, people at 16 look for relationships. People at 14 and over would be close friends. But I'll again clarify that I'm not shipping Sonaz because unlike you motherfuckers, I'm considerate of Sonic's morals of freedom and choice. Sonaz has great chemistry and depth, Sonomy doesn't. You claim that only the ships that are not illegal are valid, but damn near half the entire cast is under the age of 15 years old. These are canonical minors, and y'all excuses of ages being removed makes you people look even worse than you all.
No, half the cast is not depicted as younger than 15 years olds. The teens are not even age-specific anymore, and I cannot stress this enough, but teens being in romantic relationships has been a normalized thing for so long. But of course you'd never know about that type of thing who was probably single his entire middle school through high school life.
First of all, I've already debunked the self-proclaimed non-specific ages. And second of all, you don't need to be in a relationship to know the best attributes to a healthy relationship, but having a relationship also involves experience and commitment. I don't know why you brought up me not having a relationship as if that matters to this debate. Let's make it 100 Sonic fans versus relevant arguments for 2026. Animals for a living. This is sad.
Were you not the same guy saying how you were going to make a video about how underrated Sonaz was?
Yeah, Sonaz is an actual wholesome relationship, and I'll stand by this. Having the duo of an antisocial person and a talkative friend who is also a good listener mostly ends up being either a friendship or the relationship of a lifetime.
Anyways, that's it. Stop using Google as your main source of evidence when wikis have been proven to be false on multiple occasions.
Then Wiki was right all along. I don't see what the problem is. You didn't even give any recommendations to other websites that have accurate source material. So until then, I'll use whatever website I need to debunk you people. Even Reddit is a valid website for information, and that Mario Cosmology scale says otherwise.
Also, you're homophobic, transphobic, and ableist, and have told teenagers to off themselves. You get all this hate, and then still don't stop and think, maybe you're the problem?
You people also have been homophobic, but mainly you Sonic fans have been telling other fan bases to off themselves as well. Let's all just ignore the fact that in the 2022 Game Awards, you people have been telling Genshin fans to off themselves. You people also harass Mario fans and one-up them on how quote-unquote better the Sonic franchise is to Mario. Y'all are doing this as we speak. There are more Mario fans than there are Sonic fans, and Nintendo's age demographic for their fan base is mainly directed towards kids, teenagers, and families, and you people slander them on a regular basis, even when those Mario fans have been supportive of Sonic's games, so none of what you people have to say about me is justified in the slightest. You don't even have actual context on why I've said keys in the first place before this even escalated. All you see is my comments and no responses of who or what comment I was talking to, so I'm falsely accused. It was a heated argument, and the person I was speaking to said I'm always debunked by everyone and have nothing but bad takes, along with those lines. He provoked me to the point where I said keys to him. And it was likely an argument about Sonic versus Silver, that or Sonic's scaling. And you know what? I'm not sorry for it because that same person on almost every single post I make was starting shit for no reason, and since you people been harassing other fan bases ever since the Adventure era and Dark era games and have been telling people to off themselves on a worldwide standpoint, I won't be sorry for what I said that day. I'm not sorry for shit. And the fact that you same people even now spamming my inbox telling me to get a job and falsely guess my age as 20 years old further makes me less sorry for the slander I gave towards you people. I'll start apologizing when you people stop bothering Mario fans and Dragon Ball fans just to glaze a series of games that you people don't even appreciate. But anyways, I debunked your claims. Characters still have ages. Shadow is objectively a 50-year-old man who also has a job already. And this fan base is a bunch of hypocrites, predators, and pathological liars. Good day.